Right now, flying over Wisconsin, the Air National Guard conducting nighttime training. We have a look inside coming up. And the city unveils its new proposal for what they are calling a major road construction project along University Avenue. And a local doctor is the first to make a CBD nasal spray, why that matters, and how a Badger hockey legend says it has changed his life.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
If you live in Madison or the surrounding area, there is a good chance you have heard that noise before. Training for the 115th Air National Guard, it is nonstop, but hearing those F-16s at night isn't so common. Thanks for joining us tonight. Charlotte has the evening off. Starting yesterday and continuing into next week, the fighter jets will be taking off and landing up until 11 o'clock at night. It is training they say is invaluable. Our Gabriella Becerra is live at Truax Field now with the latest. Gabriella?
Yeah, these loud noises that you may have heard are the 115th Fighter Wing planes, and normally they do their training during the day, but this week they're taking to the sky at night. The goal is to practice their everyday tasks with the challenge of darkness. This allows for the pilots to be able to practice and execute their missions at any time of day. The pilot, Victor McCoy, says the training is essential to make sure the pilots and planes are proficient and safe.
Things that we do during the daytime help us in order to maintain our proficiency with the airplane and most of the systems and sensors that we utilize. But at night now we have an increasing complexity because it's very difficult for us to see what's going on out there in the air and both on the ground.
McCoy says they try to reduce the noise by limiting the thrust and getting off the ground as quick as possible, and they do appreciate the support from nearby residents. Night training is also scheduled to take place next week from June 17th through the 20th. You can check for updates online by signing up for alerts through email and text.
All right, thanks, Gabriella. Live tonight at Truax Field. The city of Madison unveiling new proposals tonight for what they are calling a major road construction project along University Avenue. Crews plan to start work in the spring of 2021 on University between Shorewood Boulevard and University Bay Drive. Tonight, the city hosted an open house where any questions or concerns could be addressed.
It's a highly traveled area. 50 to 60,000 vehicles can travel on any given day in this section. And we also know how important it is to emergency vehicles and services that way. It's a main path that they use, which is important to us to make sure that it's designed efficiently and the safest for everyone who uses it.
The proposal will include pavement improvements, bike and pedestrian accommodations, and improvements to the stormwater sewer system since the area has been prone to flooding in the past. Again, slated to begin in the spring of 2020. A look now at our first alert forecast. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us. Dave.
The sunshine returned today, Eric, but it was still on the cool side across southern Wisconsin. It'll be another cool night tonight with temperatures dipping into the upper 40s. Live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam at mostly clear skies, down to 60 degrees, but with low dew points, it still feels quite comfortable outside. Another great night to maybe open the windows. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s across southern Wisconsin. We'll see those temperatures continue to fall through the 50s and touch the upper 40s once again as we get into the early morning hours of Friday. I do think those temperatures get into the 70s for highs tomorrow, with rain staying north of Dane County, but that won't be the case as we head into Saturday. We'll talk about storm chances for this Father's Day weekend in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Police in Indiana have made an arrest in connection with that animal cruelty investigation at Fair Oaks Farm following the release of undercover video. 36-year-old Edgar Gardozo Vasquez of Brook, Indiana, is facing charges of animal cruelty and torture. There are still some outstanding warrants for 2 other suspects. The release of the video prompted several grocery providers to briefly pull the company's products from store shelves, including Metcalf's in Madison. Fair Oaks Farm says 4 of the 5 employees seen in that video had already been fired before the video's release. The 5th was fired shortly afterwards. The FDA says thousands of cases of unbleached all-purpose flour are being recalled due to E. coli concerns. That's nearly 114,000 bags of King Arthur flour. None of the reported illnesses have been connected to the product. It is only being pulled from the shelves as a precaution. The select 5-pound bags were distributed to retailers nationwide, including Target stores and Walmart. The full state legislature will take up Wisconsin's two-year spending plan during the last week of this month. The GOP-controlled Joint Finance Committee passed the budget along party lines today. It removes many of Governor Tony Evers' top priorities, like Medicaid expansion, gas tax increase, and medical marijuana legalization. A $300 million middle-income tax cut was added to the budget today, but that is less than half of what the governor had asked for. It does not include the tax increases for manufacturers and capital gains tax that Governor Evers proposed.
We're demonstrating to our Democratic fellows, especially Governor Evers, that we don't have to raise taxes in order to fund our priorities.
And the proposal that my GOP colleagues have before you today just continues this rigged system.
Under the plan the committee passed today, taxpayers covered would have an average tax cut of $75 per person compared to $216 in that tax cut under Governor Evers' plan. People who have served their time for committing a felony in Wisconsin once again have a chance to have some of their rights restored. Governor Evers signed an executive order today relaunching the Pardons Board. Former Governor Walker dissolved it 8 years ago. The advisory board will review eligible applications and make recommendations to the governor about pardons. A person would be eligible if they completed their sentence at least 5 years ago and have not committed any new crimes. Anyone on the sex offender registry is ineligible. Only 3 Democratic presidential hopefuls are being withheld from participating in the first televised debates. That means they will still feature 20 candidates split over 2 nights. The Democratic National Committee says all of the candidates who made the cut needed to either achieve at least 1% support in 3 popular polls or received campaign contributions from 65,000 donors. The dates are set for June 26th and 27th in Miami. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders will be leaving the Trump administration at the end of the month. President Trump announced that news on Twitter today. He says Sanders will be returning to her home state of Arkansas and has not immediately named a successor. Her departure comes as the U.S. Office of Special Counsel is recommending President Trump fire another key aide, White House counselor Kellyanne Conway. The watchdog agency says Conway repeatedly violated the Hatch Law, limiting government employees' political activity by disparaging Democratic presidential candidates on TV and social media. The White House says the actions against Conway violate her rights to free speech. A man in Madison is alive tonight thanks to the work of police officers. New tonight at 10, Amy Reed tells us what they did and how one unit helped make it all possible.
The scene here yesterday looked quite different as a suicidal man looked like he would jump from the top of the parking garage. Officer Casey Amoroso was there, and it wasn't the first time she'd met him.
The information that was aired by dispatch led us to believe that it was somebody that we have worked extensively with the mental health unit.
Amoroso is an officer within the mental health unit in the department, a special team of only 6 officers tasked with cases involving people dealing with mental illness. They don't respond to every call. Instead, they walk the streets and foster positive interactions, but they typically review files, giving a more thought-out approach they can share with other officers.
Police officers can always make better decisions when they have more information and more time. And so what we see our role in many circumstances is just sharing that information and distributing that information as best we can.
Last year, 10% of the department's calls dealt with people with mental illnesses. This team can focus on following up with these calls, bringing mental health professionals along with them, which cuts back on the calls happening again. Something they said was crucial when it came to the gentleman yesterday. When he came back to Amoroso, leaving this space clear to be nothing but a boring parking garage today, it reinforced just why they do this.
I've had several friends that have gone through mental health crises and deal with mental health, and I've always felt that being able to help them and break down the stigma that's surrounding mental health and being able to help those that are closest to me is just the most fulfilling task that I can possibly do in my entire life.
This unit has been working within the department since 2015, and they're just one of 10 Bureau of Justice learning sites in the country. They told me they hope more departments adopt something like this. Now, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or suicidal thoughts, call the national or local hotlines. Those numbers are 1-800-273-8255 or 608-280-2600.
Amy Reed reporting tonight. Amy, thank you. An art project is starting to change the landscape in downtown Janesville. Jeff Enriquez is known for his work all across the country and is now painting Chief Blackhawk, who is a band leader of the Sauk American Indian tribe and had ties to Rock County. Depending on the weather, this mural could take a week or so to complete. The Goodman Pool now open for the season. Celebrating the occasion, they gave out 500 free admissions to children today. Those donations came from Irwin and Robert Goodman, who donated $2.8 million for the municipal pool before they passed away when it opened back in 2006. Following their first donation, they gave an annual donation so that the first 500 children swim for free on opening day. The pool will be open now for the rest of the summer season. Still ahead tonight at 10, it's looking like it'll be pool weather this weekend. Dave will have our complete forecast, but first, an alternative for pain pills and much more. A Madison hockey legend teams up with a local doctor to promote a new CBD nasal spray. It's unlike anything on the market. Welcome back. Every day it seems like there is another place in our area selling CBD products, but in some cases it's hard to tell what you're actually buying. New tonight and only on News 3 Now, a local doctor joining forces with a local hockey great to create a first-of-its-kind CBD product that they say lives up to actual medical standards in a largely unregulated industry.
Trying to set up with a shot to save it. Shot the goal! The Badgers score! Burries gets the goal for the Wisconsin Badgers!
He's one of the legends in Badger hockey history.
3, 2, 1, shot! Save! Wisconsin wins!
A captain on the 2006 national championship team.
You think you know what it takes, but until you actually attain it, you have absolutely no idea.
He also put his name on the Stanley Cup in 2010 as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. Injuries led to his retirement from the NHL before he even hit 30. His body was feeling the wear and tear of more than 20 years of ice time.
I had just finished playing hockey, and to be honest, when I played, I used a lot of painkillers, a lot of sleeping pills.
That wasn't how he wanted to live life, so he turned to a lifelong family friend, Dr. Fred Melius.
I said, Fred, I just want to use it. I said, if it's going to help me, because I don't want to take pills anymore.
You're looking for ways to make people feel better, and, you know, CBD is everywhere right now.
Melius is a well-known local OBGYN, but he'd been working on developing products for years, particularly nasal sprays. He says his new product, Nazidol, is the only nasal spray out there with the benefits of CBD oil.
I mean, you could buy CBD shoelaces practically. I mean, it's almost ridiculous. But a lot of the products really, their absorption doesn't really meet any medical standards.
From video stores to health food stores, even gas stations, CBD oil is everywhere. In a world with little regulation, Milius didn't want to put his name attached to anything that would jeopardize his medical reputation, but the perception of CBD oil has now changed.
That's how a lot of people thought of this 3-4 years ago, is that they didn't really understand how there are different cannabinoids and THC is intoxicating and then almost all the other cannabinoids aren't.
Nazidol has no THC, and Milius says it includes only FDA-approved ingredients. And since it is a nasal spray, it takes effect more quickly and at higher levels than any other item on the market, such as gummies or oils that you take orally.
Nasal delivery of other medications and products is kind of a hot thing right now. I mean, in the pharmaceutical industry, there's sort of a race to market to get things delivered nasally because it can be so effective in the brain.
As an athlete, I can say in 2 years I haven't taken a Tylenol. I wanted to get off all that crap because I took a lot of it, and it worked for me. And so now I can go and tell my friends and other athletes.
And that includes fellow professional athletes, including his former Badger teammate Joe Pavelski of the San Jose Sharks. Now, Milius says still too many people in the medical profession are unfamiliar with CBD oil and its effects. He'd like to see it taught more in medical schools. We have a link to more information about Nazidol and what the FDA says about CBD products at channel3000.com. All right, we turn now to Dave Caulfield joining us with a look at your first alert forecast. Dave?
Yeah, we didn't have any rain today. That we left with yesterday's forecast. Plenty of sunshine today. Off to a very cool start, and another cool night could be on the way for some of us across southern Wisconsin. High pressure over us now, so we have rain to our east and rain also to our west. A few thunderstorms making their way through the Dakotas and some light rain showers showing up in Minnesota. But we are quiet across southern Wisconsin, and I expect tonight to be quiet as well into the overnight hours. In Madison, we're looking at clear skies on the WISC-TV Skycam. I mentioned we started off in the upper 40s today. Some of us just to the north were in the 30s. There was actually some frost reported as far south as northwestern Wisconsin, and it's June 13th. We have to remind ourselves of that, running about 10 degrees below normal for this time of year with today's high of 69. 68 the high in Watertown, 71 in Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. I think these temperatures will get a little bit milder as we head into the weekend, but still running about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. Right now, we've dipped into the 50s in Lone Rock, Mineral Point, and Boscobel, 60 still in Madison, 57 in Janesville. As I mentioned, for the next 7 days, we'll be running about 5 degrees below where we should be. Typically for the middle of June, we're usually running in the upper 70s, closer to 80 degrees, but I don't have any 80s on this 10-day forecast graphic for high temperatures. We're actually going to be a little bit cooler than normal, but still not anything that we can't handle. It's not going to be crazy cold. It's not going to be crazy warm. It's actually going to be pretty comfortable most days, but not exactly what you think of with mid-June weather either. So overnight cool and mostly clear, temperatures in the upper 40s once again as we get into tomorrow. Breezy and milder. Chance of rain mainly stays north of Dane County, and we'll take a look at that on future track. Highs should make it into the mid-70s tomorrow under partly sunny skies. So maybe a few more clouds as we start off our Friday. There's an outside chance of a shower south closer to Madison, so maybe have that umbrella ready to go, but I really don't think we're going to see that rain encroach that far to the south. I think it's going to stay a little bit closer to the Dells, so in spots like Sauk and Columbia County, we may end up seeing some showers, maybe a thunderstorm tomorrow. I think the better storm chances arrive on Saturday. As a cold front dips to the south, we're going to see those showers and storms form basically right along that front. Our latest forecast model keeps that rain just a little bit farther to the north than previous runs, but I do think as that front continues to move south, we'll see that rain eventually later on Saturday. For tomorrow, it was a bit of a blustery day today, and I think we're in for the same as we get into tomorrow. Wind gusts of about 25 to 35 miles per hour, not out of the question. Now, a look at your 10-day forecast. Showers and storms a little bit more likely on Saturday. I do think we get those storms and showers out of here on Father's Day during the morning hours. So if you have plans in the afternoon and evening, they are looking good with Dad. Then The dry weather staying with us for Monday and Tuesday. Temps in the lower to middle 70s. Another rainy, stormy stretch of weather could be on the way for the middle of next week, as highs are a little bit closer to 80 by next Wednesday. I almost said closer to Wednesday by next 80. That's not right. I
know you really want this to be a good Father's Day for you. It is your first Father's Day as a father.
Father's Day, yeah.
As a father, so I know you're going to do your best.
I'm excited. Hopefully I get a nice tie. I need one.
Enjoy that. I'm off tomorrow, so have a great Father's Day.
You
Your
too.
first as a father. All right, up next, Sun Prairie looking for the 9th state championship in school history in baseball. We'll have the highlights straight ahead.
When the Sun Prairie Cardinals lost 5 of their first 9 games to start the season, winning a state title might not have been at the front of their minds. Well, it was tonight. Sun Prairie put things together when it counted, and they needed one more win to get their 9th set of gold medals, taking on Eau Claire North in the championship game. Top 6, 2-1 North. Alex Schmitz to short. Oh, the routine play, not so routine. Carter Hesselman's throw goes wayward, and it's 2-2. 2 on for Carson Shepard. Same inning. How about a 2-out, 2-run double? And the Cardinals, just like that, take a 4-2 lead. But bottom 6, 2 on for Sam Stang. Oh, it's hero time and clutch time. A 3-run bomb gives the Huskies the lead for good. 5-4 the final. The Cards have to settle for second.
I guess I wasn't really looking for anything, just sitting on the fastball, and I think he left a changeup up, so glad I jumped on it.
I'm just proud of him, you know. Starting out 4 and 5 and be one of the last 2 teams standing is quite an accomplishment. So I don't know, you know, what you could say in this situation that's going to make him feel a whole lot better at this point right now.
Sunscreen, apply it for the Division IV championship. Yes, get every spot. Mineral Point taking on Webster. That's Jack Washburn, one of the best pitchers in the country. Gets a little wild. Justin Baylor scores the Pointers' first run, but that would be their only run. Brad Siegfried's part of a 5-run inning for Webster in the 4th. Owen Washburn through the hole on the right side. That made it 6-1. Jack Washburn, complete game, 12 strikeouts. He's headed to Oregon State for baseball. Tigers win 11-1. The Pointers finish the season 27-1.
We knew that we were the underdogs, even with 0 losses, and we're not going to hang our heads at all. We're going to hang them high and take our hardware home and enjoy it.
Last 2 years we made it to the state tournament, obviously, and going from whatever they were, 10-12 the year before, and to 18-5 last year to 27-1 this year, which is awesome for our program. So I think we're very excited about next year too.
The Packers taking Thursday off of practice for a little top-secret team bonding activity, so Green Bay defense can take a break from the trash talk. They've had the upper hand through mandatory minicamp, and that's with the rookies and other young players getting run against the first string. Head coach Matt LaFleur is a fan of youngsters stepping up, but he's not going to just hand over spots on the depth charts.
I don't care if you're a first-round pick or a free agent. You got to earn it, and I think the guys that you see out there running with the ones, they've done a nice job. They've shown that they can handle it. The only way you truly know is you got to put them in that position. But I think, you know, I'm excited about those young guys that we got on defense.
Oh, watch out for Deere. U.S. Open first round. Brooks Koepka trying to make it 3 straight U.S. Opens. Show off. Seriously. He is 2 under par after his first round. Tiger Woods, 22 feet 8 inches away. No problemo for the most popular guy on tour. Justin Rose surging. Buckets. He's your leader, 6 under par after round number 1. The last game in Oracle in Oakland, Game 6 NBA Finals. The Raptors trying to close out the Warriors. Warriors coach Steve Kerr is 6-1 in elimination games, and he wants number 7. The Raptors want to win their first title in their 24-year history. A close one down the stretch. We're back after this.
And Dave, final check. My bad. I didn't know I was.
It's okay. Just got a
You've been
lot to
replaced.
talk about. Oh my goodness. We have storm chances tomorrow, mainly north of Madison. I do think those storm chances for everybody come on Saturday. Temperatures staying in the mid-70s into Father's Day.
I always wanted to do weather. It was my chance.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great night.